Hello everyone, my name is Kelly Zhang. I'm a children's book writer and a literary translator working between Chinese and English. Today I would like to share with you an excerpt from the middle grade novel entitled Tilted Sky. This is a heart-rending coming-of-age novel written by Chinese novelist Yao Emei and translated by myself from Simplified Chinese. The story is about how a smart and resourceful 11-year-old boy struggles against poverty, homelessness, and an abusive family to ultimately discover what it means to have a home and a family of one's own. The full novel will publish with Levine Querido in May 2024. Chapter 1. Sunlight splashed in through the window. I woke up with a start and jumped out of bed. Today was my first day going back to school, and I didn't want to be late. Actually, the fall semester officially kicked off a week ago. I was supposed to be in the 6th grade, but from the time I filled in my registration forms until now, I've been stranded at home. To the outside world, I pretended like I didn't care, but deep down, I was becoming more restless and worried. Hei Jian didn't save up enough money to pay my school fees again. It wasn't entirely his fault, though. I mean, nobody wants to be poor if they have a choice, right? The problem is, Hei Jian would never willingly admit that he was utterly broke. According to Hei Jian, the world tries to divide people into two camps, the poor and the rich, when they are actually two sides of the same coin. It's like a game of heads or tails. When you toss a coin, you might land on the poor side at first. Toss it again, and you might land on the rich side. Here's another way to see it. Rich and poor are like a pair of guards that change posts every few hours. At least that's what Hei Jian believed. I wasn't so sure that's how things really work in this world, that everyone's got the exact same chances of being rich or poor. Sometimes I couldn't resist ruffling Hei Jian's feathers. I would say, "You've been waiting on the poor side for so long. Why hasn't anyone rich come to change posts with you?" To my surprise, the last time I challenged him on it, instead of getting all upset like he usually would, Hei Jian just chuckled. "My boy, it's too early to tell whether I'm rich or poor. The one thing I've learned is that fortune is fickle. It will not allow people to stay rich or poor forever. So be patient, my boy," Hei Jian said. "You'll see. My fortune is about to turn." I told Hei Jian that in my mind, things were quite straightforward. If a person never has enough money to pay for important stuff like food and school, he's definitely poor. Who knows? Let's hope that one day a bag of cash will drop from the sky and land right in my lap. Hei Jian said this while laughing loudly. Just remember what I've always told you. Don't give up and never lose hope, because anything can happen tomorrow. Hei Jian was so convinced of his brilliant, promising future that I, too, started to believe. Whenever Hei Jian spoke to me up close, I couldn't help turning my head away. His stomach was almost always empty, and if a person hadn't eaten in a while, his breath would start to smell gross. I knew this from personal experience. Yesterday morning, after Hei Jian had gotten up, he stood in front of the bathroom mirror and slicked down his messy, shoulder-length hair. Then he bent over to put on his trusty old army boots. Hei Jian considered himself a man's man. Even when he hadn't eaten all day, he still walked around with energy and stride. On those impossibly hot and humid summer afternoons, when one could barely breathe, Hei Jian still wore his bulky boots. People called him cool or hip, only I knew the truth. Beside his boots, the only other shoes he owned was a pair of flip-flops. That's why he wore his boots everywhere he went, all year round. Hei Jian is my dad, but he doesn't want me to call him Dad. He prefers to be called Hei Jian, the black-colored keys you press down and play on a piano. Hei Jian is not his real name either, His real name is... Never mind, forget it. It's super boring anyways, so I'd rather not mention it. Anyhow, like I was saying, after Hei Jian had smoothed out his hair and laced up his boots, he ordered me to pack up my school bag. We're going to walk to your school together first thing next morning, he said. Actually, I'd already packed my school bag the week before, but since he had issued a command, I had to obey. So I repacked my bag. That was yesterday morning. Last night, Hei Jian come home late as usual. Stomping across the bottom of the stairs, he hollered, "Bai Jian! Bai Jian!" All right, Bai Jian is my nickname. It means white-colored keys, like on a piano. I didn't know why he had chosen such an odd name for me. It made everyone think that my family name is Bai, and that his family name is Hei. As soon as I opened the door for him, the smell of booze instantly ambushed me. Hei Jian wrapped me inside a giant hug and kissed me on the face. He really only gave me hugs or kisses when he was drunk. Then he mumbled something about how I was the only family he had in the world. The drunken dude looked to be in good spirits. "Ah, Bai Jian, my boy, my dear lad, just you wait. We'll go visit your school tomorrow. I've got the money now, right in the nick of time. Let me tell you, we're not poor. I can always make more money when we need it. Look, see this?" He pulled out a thick tampon envelope from his coat pocket and slammed it on the table. A wad of pink 100 yuan bills spilled from his throat. To be clear, I wasn't some kind of money-hungry kid. Most of the time, I couldn't care less about money. But in this case, having access to some funds meant I could go back to school, so I wasn't about to say no to it. Thank you for listening.